I hear that I'm a lot like her, but I wouldn't know.
Dawn Nelson flips through her baby book. The pages of careful printing are the 18-year-old's only connection to her mother, Kathy Janeiro. Just before Dawn's third birthday, those pages suddenly stopped.
That really kind of breaks my heart, knowing that it's empty. Not because she didn't want to do it, but because she wasn't there to do it.
When Dawn was just 2 years old, her 20-year-old mother was brutally stabbed to death in their Dunlop Street apartment. Dawn is estranged from her father. She grew up with her grandparents and sometimes in foster care, but no one would tell her anything about her mom. She learned of Janeiro's murder from a Crime Stoppers video.
Well, growing up without a mom, it's hard. I mean, you see friends with parents or a mother, and especially being a teenager, going through like your first kiss, you know, first boyfriend, that kind of stuff. Having a mom there would have been really nice.
It was Thanksgiving weekend 1994. Dawn was staying with her grandparents. Kathy Janeiro had been out with some friends. They all came back to her building, and then the friends left. It was sometime after that Kathy was murdered in her apartment.
We spoke to family, friends, associates, and the investigation determined that Kathy had been involved in the drug trade.
Detective Mike Wynn says police believe the motive was likely robbery. 16 years later, they're still examining the evidence, including Janeiro's wall phone found in a nearby creek 1 month after her death.
Our focus of our investigation changed at that point in time. We started looking at evidence that was within the crime scene itself. We started sending many exhibits off to the Center of Forensic Sciences as well as to a private lab.
Brian Daly is a forensic investigator on the case. He says the technology to examine evidence is getting better all the time.
During the Janeiro investigation, they wouldn't have had light sources this size. They would have had a larger laser truck that would have come to the scene and looked for evidence that's not visible to the eye.
Wynn believes one day technology will be good enough to find the killer's identity using evidence the police already have.
I feel that it's only a matter of time, and one day we'll be knocking on their door.
There are about 6 people investigators keep coming back to as persons of interest. Wynn says without a doubt someone has the information police need to make an arrest.
They did come the day of my birth to visit my mom in the hospital, and so they must have been close with her.
When Dawn Nelson looks at the list of her mother's friends written in the baby book, she wonders if one of them or anyone could somehow help her find her mother's killer.
I want to know things about my mother, and I want to know who did this and put them away. And if somebody could help with that, why wouldn't they?
Now, as you heard Detective Wynn say in the story, police continue to send bits of evidence recovered here at the apartment where Kathy Janeiro was murdered in for forensic analysis. But in the meantime, if you have any information that could help Dawn Nelson figure out what happened to her mother, please call Barrie Police or Crime Stoppers. Coming up tomorrow, we take a look at another unsolved murder from Barrie from 5 years ago, that of April Dobson. That's coming up tomorrow night on Unsolved. Reporting live, I'm Bridget Brown.